Let's get a word for Dr. Paul Stott, Head of Security and Extremism at the Policy Exchange. Paul, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ian.
Naturally, I mean, look, there is a school of thought. I know you have to be careful with journalism, saying things before it's fully confirmed. Social media has a PhD in doing that. Sometimes it gets it right, sometimes it gets it horribly wrong, as we well know. But this does kind of look like a terror attack. Is that reasonable?
Yes, I think we can say it's extremely likely to be a terrorist attack. Unfortunately, today was a Jewish holy day, Yom Kippur, and Jews were at a synagogue in Manchester. Man appears to have driven a vehicle at people as they were outside the synagogue and then run to the premises. People have been stabbed. I think he's, if we see the video that's been, one of the videos that's been circulating, seems to suggest he was shut out very bravely by the security at the synagogue, who've acted very properly. And the police are there within a few minutes, and he refuses to obey the instructions of armed police officers, and he's fiddling around with something around his midriff. The witnesses were saying was some form of either vest, bomb, or a sort of mock device. We don't know which, and he's then shot by the police.
Is it, as far as, is it common practice? I mean, people will, arm themselves up. They may do things to look more threatening. You know, many a time has somebody been wearing something to look like a device, but it turns out not to be. I guess that may be the possibility. Not a risk, of course, the police can take in circumstances such as that. But is that a sort of mode of attack, the intimidation of looking as if you're going to do more damage than you actually could?
Yes, it's obviously designed, at least in part, to deter any bystanders or others from coming too close. But it's something we've seen in past terrorist attacks, both overseas and in this country. If you think back to the London Bridge terrorist attack, 2017, and also the Fishmongers Hall attack. And indeed, I think in at least one incident in prison, people have worn these types of mock suicide vests in order to intimidate and in order potentially to convince people that they actually have a viable explosive device, not to get too close to them. So I'm afraid it is something we've seen previously. Yeah,
and in terms of what happened here today, we know that 2 people are dead. I think the assumption at the moment is this would have been perhaps from being hit by a car, but there could be, it may well be that somebody was stabbed. We're not absolutely sure of that detail. It is a little sketchy. But there are also 3 people who are in a very serious condition as well. So this story is sadly not over.
No, so the authorities will no doubt divulge more in the next few hours, but it's the most serious incident in terms of terrorism that we've had for some time, and very grim, very grim.
And the usual, I suppose there is a protocol here. You know, that the police have been criticised in the past for not releasing enough information. I've never quite realised, worked out, rather, what is the, is there a kind of a default obvious way to respond to these things? People want information. They want to know about the attacker. They want to know who that person was, who they might have represented, their ethnic background, etc. And there's been obvious controversy in very recent past on this. Does that serve a purpose in any respect? I mean, I can understand the appetite for it, but does it help or does it hinder?
Well, I think it can potentially hinder because, of course, the police have got a live investigation ongoing now, and that's going to be their first priority. That that there may well be others to focus on in the Greater Manchester area, and that will be, as well as reassuring the community, their priority. So there's going to be social media speculation, as we've seen with past incidents. Sometimes that speculation proves to be accurate. Other times it proves to be wrong. And indeed, we saw an example of that, if you remember, with the incident in Liverpool after the football parade. Yeah, indeed. Paul, thank you, sir. Great to have you on with us. Informative stuff from Dr. Paul Stott. He's Head of Security and Extremism at the Policy Exchange.